This is a Sessions video tutorial, The Anatomy of Type.
To master the use of typography in your designs, you need to know what to look for in each typeface. Let's explore some of the features that typographers pay attention to. Here we have the phrase typed magic in two type styles, Universe and Bodoni. Universe is a sans serif typeface designed by Adrian Frutiger in 1957. It was created in response to a perceived need for more utilitarian, versatile typefaces for the era. The slight but clearly visible contrast in stroke weight, subtle angularity, and just the smallest hint of calligraphic brush stroke make Universe a distinctive typeface that is both workhorse and work of art. Bodoni is a standard upright serif letter form. These are called Roman. This has to do with the fact that the shapes are derived from the letter forms on monuments in Italy, and Rome in particular. Okay, let's start our type dissection. The invisible line on which all letters sit is called the baseline. You can see that here. This is the starting point for measuring many other aspects of type. Another important mark is called the X height. It is the distance from the baseline to the top of the lowercase letter x. You can see that most of the visual substance of a letter form exists in the X height area. Only a few bits might stick above or below the lines. This broad area from baseline to X height is also called the body. Any parts of letters that extend below the baseline are called descenders, and any parts above the baseline are ascenders. An example of an ascender is the letter D, and an example of a descender is the letter P. The lowercase g also pokes below the baseline, but it has a special name, a loop, due to its shape. Cap height is the height of capital letters in the typeface. The cap height is usually slightly smaller than the height of the ascenders, but that's not always true because, as we can see with Bodoni, the cap height is the same as the ascender of the lowercase d. How is type measured exactly? Even this is something of an art. When we say we are using 60-point type, this refers generally to the distance in points from the bottom of the descenders to the top of the ascenders in a font. And the size of type is measured in points, a unit of measurement that is 1/72nd of an inch. The most important bit of a letter form's anatomy are its serif, if it has them. Serifs are the pointed elements at the end of strokes. They are key in identifying a typeface, almost like a fingerprint. If a typeface has no serifs, it's called sans serif. Sans meaning without in French, thus without serifs. Universe is a sans serif typeface, whereas Bodoni is a serif typeface. Ear. The ear is the small stroke jutting out from a lowercase letter. You can see it on the lowercase g. A sans serif will not have an ear, and looking for ears is a good way to find out whether you are dealing with a sans or a sans serif typeface. Arm. The arm is the horizontal stroke projecting into space from the stem of a letter. You can see it on the uppercase T. Shoulder. The shoulder is the arch form you find in the lowercase d. Stem. The stem is the major thick stroke of the letter form, usually vertical or diagonal, from which all the other parts grow. You can see the stems of all the letters here. Counter. The counter is the negative space enclosed by a stroke. You can see them in the P, E, D, A, and G. Bar. The bar is the horizontal connector between strokes. Some elements only appear in specific letter forms. For example, the Q has a tail stroke. See how elegant it is on Bodoni, how it curves like an actual cat's tail? See how linear and horizontal it is on Universe? Quite a visual difference. And only the capital G has a spur, which is a tiny pointed element, not often seen on typefaces that aren't serif. Here we have it in the face Serlio, as neither Bodoni or Universe has one. And the slow curve of the S is called a spine, for obvious reasons. Bowl. And finally I should mention the bowl. This is the curved stroke that encloses the counter space. You can see bowls in the P and D. Okay, at this point you have a full introduction to the anatomy of text. Now take this knowledge and explore the letter forms in the world around you.